Abuse, neglect, abandonment. These injustices happen daily worldwide, but the most extreme afflictions happen to those with disabilities. Cause for Life is on a mission to fight those injustices. Interns from around the world travel to remote locations to seek those in greatest need. They were on a journey to love, heal, and defend those with disabilities, bringing the light of hope to those in dark places. This is their journey.
On our first home trip here in Gulu, we pulled off onto a path where I wouldn't even imagine there to be a road.
We were driving through and the grass is really high right now. Couldn't really see where we were going. The road is really tiny and very bumpy.
And as we got closer, you could see some chickens and goats and everything running around, so my thought is we must be close.
When we drove in and saw the huts where he lives, it was just like really exciting. You know, the anticipation of what God was going to do.
He was sitting there in his new wheelchair that he had just gotten a couple weeks before.
Nice to meet you.
But there were still flies flying all over him, and that was really hard to take in until you saw him smile. And you could tell that he was truly happy in his new chair and having visitors. We gave him attention that he probably has never received from people other than his immediate family. Just to see his smile, we knew that our visit meant a lot to him and to the family.
Little Francis lives with his grandmother.
His father decided that he did not want a child with a disability.
His mother is alive, but she doesn't seem to care about Francis.
And so the mother sometimes comes back to visit Francis, but she has to live with the father and the other children.
But for Francis, it was rejected by the father, and the father thought maybe it would be thrown away because they looked at him like somebody who had brought in misfortune in the family.
It doesn't seem like the mother understands the value and the importance of taking care of Francis.
For most of the day, Francis stays in their home while the grandmother has to go out and work.
But that may mean 6 hours of the day. That might mean 8 hours of the day. That might mean the whole day.
He can't feed himself. He can't go to the bathroom by himself. And the grandma, you can tell she loves him, but she has to be able to provide for her and Francis. It was just really hard to think of a child that was that young and just having to spend so much time by yourself, and when you can't do anything for yourself.
One thing that I was able to do while there is talk a little bit about communication. Francis is nonverbal.
How does Francis communicate now? What does he do now that makes you know whether he's happy or sad?
Yeah, so there are two different kind of sound. One which shows that, well, he's excited about what is happening, and then the other one is no, he's not.
One of the things they mentioned was the ability for him to communicate the need to go to the bathroom.
If he can just do something with his hand, like this, and then take him to the bathroom, and every time you take him to the bathroom, like this, then eventually he will learn that that means bathroom.
In the past, they hadn't really been able to figure out what he needed and what he wanted.
But you can also model it yourself. So when you say, you know, time for bathroom, and you use this, you do the same thing, it will pair together and he will be more likely to use that.
We're also able to educate them on the pressure sores He had a few developing.
That can become a serious issue if people aren't educated on it.
Usually what causes those sores is because he sits or sleeps in the same position for a long time. So we taught them how they can turn him, how they can sit him in different positions, or even lay him down in different positions. If he's laying on the bed or on the mat, don't let him lie for so long in one place. You change him maybe every hour or 2 hours.
Coming from another person in a wheelchair, it's really effective because Francis knows on a first-hand basis on how that all works.
And don't let him lay on the side where the sores are.
And that had to make a huge impact on little Francis's health and his future.
Can you see yourself? That's you.
When we were there with the family, we got to talk about how people with disabilities are important in the eyes of God. We read Luke 14:21 and explained the importance of that verse to the family, how we're supposed to go out and find these people who have a disability, who are poor.
So when you're serving him, you're serving God directly.
And I think that's an important thing for everyone to know, that when you're serving people with disabilities, you are directly serving God.